Faith, Hustle, and a Dream. Chapter 1. Coco wasn't always the confident lion everyone knows today. Life began on the outskirts of Macon, Georgia, where opportunities felt scarce and hope was a rare commodity. But Coco held on to something powerful, his faith. His mama had always told him, "With God, all things are possible." And those words stayed with him through every struggle. With his signature sunglasses and tattoos that told his life's story, Coco hustled every day, doing whatever he could to make ends meet. On his hardest days, he knelt to pray, asking God to show him a purpose. He knew there was a plan for him. Jeremiah 29:11 echoed in his heart.
"For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future."
One sweltering afternoon, while walking through a dusty junkyard, Coco spotted it. A beat-up, rust-covered car sitting alone in the weeds. Its tires were flat, its windows shattered, and it looked forgotten by the world. Most would have seen trash, but Coco saw something else.
"This car ain't finished,
He whispered to himself.
and neither am I."
With just a few crumbled bills in his pocket, the last of his money, he handed it over to the junkyard owner. Coco prayed silently as he walked back.
"Lord, help me breathe life into this car the way you breathe life into me."
For weeks, Coco worked tirelessly in his makeshift garage, often pausing to wipe the sweat from his face and thank God for giving him the strength to keep going. By day, he hunted for parts in scrap yards, and by night, he repaired, painted, and polished the car. It wasn't easy. His hands grew calloused. His fur was speckled with oil, and doubt tried to creep in more than once. But every time he felt overwhelmed, Coco looked up and whispered,
"I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me."
Finally, the car was complete. The once forgotten vehicle now shone like a star in the middle of that dusty lot. Coco stepped back, looking at his work with pride, and whispered a prayer of gratitude. This wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of redemption and transformation. Just as God had given him the strength to fix what was broken, he believed he could help others rebuild their lives too. When Coco sold that car, he didn't just see a sale, he saw the beginning of something bigger.
"Thank you, Lord."
Coco said, looking at the empty space where the car had sat.
"If you can take me from nothing and give me a purpose, I'm gonna help others do the same."
That day, the seeds of Connected Auto Group were planted. Coco didn't know how far God would take him, but he knew one thing for certain. His faith would always guide him, and no matter how hard the road got, he would keep roaring his way to the top. Because with God, all things are possible.